Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, we are working on a return client. I have already removed her previous set. I will link it in the cards for you. It was a really cool pink camo set. She wanted something a lot shorter and a lot more simple, so I went in with my normal removal process. I do have a video for that on my channel and how I re-prep, so I will link that in the cards for you to check out if you are interested in how I remove sets for return clients when they come in for a refill and or redesign. So I went in with my regular priming system. It's all, the same for the most part, and I'm just giving her infill. So this is basically I'm air quoting here, fill in that I do with clients. I am basically just applying the clear acrylic to the new growth of nail that has grown out in the time since she was last with me. This takes no time at all. The only thing that I worry about here is just making sure to be careful with how I'm placing the acrylic. You want to avoid flooding the cuticles and or sidewalls, and making sure that the acrylic just, isn't too thick, because we are going to go in later with a colored acrylic. As you can see, I am not wasting too much time or using beads that are particularly large, because the only thing that I'm trying to cover is the new growth. There was already a layer of clear acrylic on her nail from her previous set. That's what I filed down to when removing the, colored acrylic or whatever enhancement I have placed on her nail. So for this set, she wanted something extremely simple, and I think it came out nice. Sometimes, simple sets are really, really nice if you execute well. I am using a favorite sugar and cream color of both of ours. We both love this color. I actually have it on my nails at the same time. She was like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing the same thing. This is Eggnog from Sugar and Cream. If you are interested in the set on my left hand, which is holding her hand, I will link that in the cards for you. It's a recent video, and it's the same color that she's getting right now. So I am just doing a simple application of this acrylic onto her short itty bitty nails. We filed down to a shorter length, and I spent some time off camera just filing the nails, making sure that we get this nice crisp shape. I think when you're doing shorter sets like this, the shape is everything, and I think at the end we were both like yes to the shape. It's lovely and gorgeous. So for the acrylic application, I am just focusing on getting a nice smooth, thick, application, because I'm gonna clear cap, but the clear cap is so watery. I'm just clear capping so that I don't file off the color. Most of the structure is coming from this acrylic application. So I'm using a drier bead than normal because I want to have a lot of control. And I'm using, at the time, my Mia Secret monomer, but this is a Sugar and Cream acrylic, so it's not the same brand, but that's okay. And I place the acrylic. My bead is a little bit drier, so I let my bead kind of soak up the acrylic, and then I dip it one final time into my acrylic, and it picks up just another bit or another layer of acrylic. So it dries out the bead a tiny bit. I place it around the cuticle, and then I use my brush to kind of push it back up towards the cuticle and sidewall area. I'm massaging the sidewalls. As you can see, I'm brushing down and constantly swiping inwards. You want the product to stay towards the center of the nail. That's how you're able to build up an apex and to avoid warping the shape of your nails. If you apply acrylic and you notice that your nails look whiter than they did when you started, or the shape is not as sharp, as you can see, we basically maintain that shape. I am always patting that acrylic in towards the center of the nail and against the free edge, just to maintain that shape, so that when you go into file, you're not wasting your time removing a ton of product. Remember, these colored acrylics are not cheap. It's not like a clear acrylic, So as you can see, I'm placing the bead. I tap my brush on my napkin just to dry it out a bit, and then I'm pushing that acrylic where I need it to be. As you can see, I'm pushing it towards the sidewall and towards the cuticle area, and making sure to keep that the bulk of the acrylic towards the center of the nail. And if you can see from this angle, maybe not so much, I am tilting her fingers down towards the table. This helps because gravity is a thing. You do not want the product to be backflowing towards the sides of the nail, up towards the cuticle area. As you can see, I'm spending a lot of time making sure to push that acrylic towards the center. I like to angle the fingers down when I'm applying acrylic, just so that the product isn't, gonna wanna flow towards the side walls of the nail or towards the cuticle. It just helps that way. And I am just using the body of the brush to kind of massage the product down the length of the nail and constantly patting. You see I'm constantly going from sidewall to sidewall, patting that product towards the center so that we can just make sure that we have a clean shape with the application again. You can't see me tapping my beads, but I don't drag my brush to get my beads. I kind of tap, and then look at it. It polymerizes, and then I tap again. I place my bead. I know my thumb's in the way. So here I am pushing the product where I need it to be and just patting the side walls, massaging the product down with the body of the brush. If you feel like it's sticking to your bristles a little bit, I dip it into my monomer, tap it on my napkin, and then continue that way. And as you can see, I'm pushing the product in towards the sides. Tap, and then when you get the excess of product over the free edge, then you can use your brush to kind of, fold it over and then get rid of the excess. I mean, you don't really want to do that. Eventually with time, you'll kind of figure out how much product is enough for a length of a nail. I think I did it well on the thumb, but yeah, colored acrylic is expensive, and this is a glow-in-the-dark colored acrylic, so this is even more expensive. Sugar and cream acrylics are pretty affordable, but the glow-in-the-darks are more expensive than the, regular colors. So, I mean, note to myself, I don't want to be wasting product by, removing them on my napkin. So you can see here, I placed my bead. I'm taking my time. I pushed the product towards the cuticle area and massaged it towards the sidewall. And now I'm just cleaning my sidewalls, and you can see I'm massaging that product down, but I'm using the body of the brush, and the product is not moving wherever I don't want it to go. I am basically in control of the product. It takes time. I don't get it right all the time, even now. But sometimes I do a good job. And as you can see, this was like the perfect size bead. I did not flow into her sidewalls or cuticle area. It just was a great application. So I was proud of this thumb. Hopefully you are too. And there you go. Just the perfect amount. Not too thick. They weren't chunky nails, nothing crazy. So yep, we're just using eggnog from Sugar and Cream. It's a really gorgeous color, and it glows in the dark, which is just also special. So like I mentioned, I am clear capping her nails, but I'm not going to be clear capping using the same, method as I did with the application of the colored acrylic. As you can see, this bead is a lot more wet. I'm using a very wet bead just because I'm not clear capping for structure. I'm mostly clear capping so that when I go into file, I don't accidentally file away too much. Sometimes when I'm filing, especially around like the cuticle or sidewall areas, because the product is thin there, if I do go in a little bit heavy-handed with my e-file or my hand file, I might file away some color where I don't want it to go away. So I'm just making sure to use the clear acrylic to kind of encapsulate all of the colored acrylic. As you can see, it's a really wet bead, and I'm just swiping most of it off at the end. And clear acrylic is stronger than colored acrylic. It's a glow powder. I don't want to waste it or file it away. So that's basically what I'm doing here, but I'm not building up too much product with this clear acrylic. So this set is so simple. It is all about the shape of these nails. Like I mentioned before, I think that simple, solid colored nails, especially shorter ones, it's all about the shape. It just makes it just so, crisp and beautiful to me. So we are going in for a square, kind of tapered, not too tapered, but a square shape on these nails. As you can see, I'm doing a quick surface file with the file, and then just making sure that we get a nice crisp shape. So you can see it's a little bit soft in terms of the shape because I applied that acrylic around the edges of the nail. I'm just using my hand file to just, resharpen everything. And I'm squeezing the client's fingers tightly so that they don't wobble. Even at this short length, you don't want them to be uncomfortable. So I'm just squeezing as best I can. I do damage my nails during this filing process. As you can see on my thumb, my file normally rests on my thumbnail. So my thumb usually gets messed up. My ring finger, my middle finger usually get the brunt of damage when I am hand filing or e-filing. Sometimes when removing sets, my nails get in the way and I'll like click my nail with the e-file. That happened when I was moving her set. And she was like, "Ooh," I'm like, "Girl, it's okay. I'm going to take these off in a few days." But yeah, usually I do a lot of damage to my nails especially when filing. But it's okay because, I change my nails at least once a week. So it's not a biggie. But yes, I am just making sure to give her a nice crisp shape with this hand file. This is a medium file. You can use a harder grit or a lower number grit, which means that the file has more, I guess, sandy abrasiveness on it, which makes it, file faster, but it was okay. These nails are pretty short. If it was a longer nail or with a little bit more thickness, then maybe I would use a lower grit just to make sure that we get a even sharper shape. But I felt like this was, enough to do. And we get a little bit of thumb appreciation here. I'm just going in that up and down motion that I like to do to just get a really sharp free edge. Now I'm going in with, I think this is my new favorite bit, I'm not sure. It's a narrow carbide bit, but it's an extra fine. So 2 X's and a fine. It's from Pana. One, it's gorgeous because it's gold, right? And it's a narrow bit, so it's not as wide as normal bits, and it's not a safety, so you have to be careful with it, but it's an extra fine, so it's not removing too much product. I know it looks like there's a lot of product that's going to be removed at the end of this filing, just because there's a lot of dust. I didn't use my dust collector, so the dust is all over the place, but for the most part I am just smoothing the surface of the nail. And if you can see, I'm going to be using this bit to kind of take in the sides of the nail as well, which is something that I don't normally do, but I was just inclined. So right there on the side of the nail, you see I'm running the bit along the sides of the nail. That also reinforces the shape that we want. And then I'm just going around the sidewalls and cuticle area from right to left because I'm right-handed, and I'm using my bit in a forward motion just to clean the sidewalls. Again, this is not a safety, so if you are like inexperienced or uncomfortable using non-safeties on yourself and or clients, just use a safety. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, I am just using this e-file at about, I think it was about 10 or 11,000 RPM, so not too fast, but definitely, you know, you want to be careful. It's not a safety, and it is sharp at the top, but I really love this, this nail bit. It smooths the nail so much, but doesn't debulk, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's basically what's happening here. And because I meant the shape is important, I am going back in and filing with my final file. Nothing crazy, I am just focusing on cleaning things up just in case I softened any of the shapes with my e-file. I want these nails to be uber crisp. After that, I'm going to go in with a 240 buffing block and I'm going to buff the nails. And then once her hands are clean, I'm just going to give her a glossy top coat and this set will be done. As you can see, the nails came out nice and crisp. I had her cure for a full 60 seconds. The nails came out really, really beautiful, and this color is just gorgeous. Like this video if you like. Subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.